Welcome to Aspiring Hollywood, where each week we bring to you working professionals from the entertainment industry, offering their experiences, expertise, and advice. But more than that, these dedicated professionals will also talk about the defining moment of their careers, the event that led to that crucial moment, and the elements necessary to keep the career on the right path. This week, we caught up with a young star in the making, Matthew J. Evans. He recently starred in Bad Teacher with Cameron Diaz and Justin Timberlake. Matthew, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Now, first of all, I want to find out, how old are you?
I'm 14. I'll be 15 pretty soon on August 9th.
So 14 and 3/4 and a few days.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, pretty much.
But you've had a spectacular career. What are some of your credits?
Like you said, I was in Bad Teacher with Cameron Diaz and Justin Timberlake, and I've also guest starred on TV shows like Scrubs, All of Us, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, Drake and Josh and Zoe 101, King of Queens, stuff like that.
There's so many young people out there that are just dying to make it in Hollywood, but they don't know the first thing about how to get started, right? What was it like for you? What was that one event that separated you from wanting to be on camera to actually being on camera?
I think it was like a series of events. Like, I started doing theater when I was 4 years old. My mom runs a community theater where we live in San Luis Obispo, California. And so I'd been doing theater, really young. And this woman came up from Los Angeles and did a workshop on LA acting. And it was really cool to me, it was really exciting. And we went down and I did some of her workshops, and that's where I met my first agent. And I think that was the moment where it was like the transition.
Right, when you met your first agent,
Yeah.
so actually you got an agent, and then you had to do what? You had to take acting lessons? Did you do that? Did you go to auditions?
I'm still taking acting lessons, going to lots of auditions, and getting like my package together, like my pictures and resumes. I think that's something that's really important to have. Is a good looking packge.
So, Bad Teacher, that's out in the theaters right now. I have to confess, folks, I haven't seen the movie yet, but I've heard such great things about the movie. What was it like to? Well, first of all, tell me what the movie's about. Let's start with that.
Well, the movie is about Elizabeth, Cameron Diaz's character, and her journey to try and raise money to get a boob job so she can marry a rich guy and just sort of be set for life. And it's a really funny movie. Justin Timberlake plays the substitute teacher who's got it from a really rich family, and Lucy Punch plays another teacher who sort of becomes Cameron's rival. And it's a very, very, very funny movie.
Tell me about your role. Now, I read something online about a bra or something like that. Tell me about that.
Yeah,
what happened?
Well, my character's name is Garrett Ciara, and he's a real dork. Like, his hair is totally gelled down flat, and he wears the same sweatshirt every day, and he writes really bad poetry. And he's really in love with the most popular girl in school, but she doesn't want anything to do with Garrett because he's such a dork. At one point in the movie, I make a big fool of myself. Like, I proclaim my love for this girl in front of everybody, and she just calls me gross. And so I run off crying, and Cameron's character chases after me. And she's like, all right, I'll help you out this one time, just in this one. And she reaches up under her shirt and she takes off her bra and she gives it to me. She says, just keep this in your pocket, I'll take care of the rest. So we go back to where all the kids are, and she says to another teacher, well, I caught him going to second base with a kid from another school, so I had to put a stop to that. And then everyone thinks I'm a hero. So it all works out in the end. But it was very, very funny to film that scene with the bra.
And your real life friends are now teasing you about that.
Well, they thought it was pretty cool. Like, there were some high fives and stuff like that.
Very nice.
Yeah.
What's it like to work with somebody like Cameron Diaz?
It was amazing. Cameron is like the coolest person ever. Like, she really went out of her way to make sure that I was like relaxed and comfortable, and she was always like making jokes on the set and saying, I was doing a really great job. And she and Jake Kasdan, the director, really knew how to get the best work out of me.
Justin Timberlake, tell me about him.
He was really cool also. There was one scene that was actually cut from the theatrical release, but the two of us are doing the robot together, and every time we did a take, we would try and out-robot each other, throw in a different move, and that was really fun. And Justin was really, he was really cool also because one time he played basketball with the kids, and that was a really neat experience, all of us just, playing basketball together.
Did they give you any career tips or anything like that? Did you guys talk about that, or was it more?
Not so much, but Cameron did show me how to punch. I don't know, I guess I was like telling a story or something, and I did a punch. He's like, "Is that how you punch?" I'm like, "Yeah, I guess." And so she showed me how to box, I guess. And
does she pack a good punch?
She does, yeah.
Does she really?
She's really in shape and all. She's really into fitness and all that stuff.
That's great. So I'm sure that a lot of people watching right now, especially the younger members of our audience, what advice would you have for them, for the younger members of the audience that would want to do what you're doing today?
I guess just one thing is to never give up. Like, no matter how many auditions you go on, no matter how many rejections you get, just never give up. Like, keep going and keep taking classes, keep learning. And also just to have a really strong base of people who support you, people that you could go to and always be like, you can do it, we believe in you, it's just stuff like that. It really helps to have that base.
Tell me what's next for you. What's in the works? Where can we see you?
Well, I'm actually working on a documentary. I'm an award-winning filmmaker, and the documentary I'm working on is called The Woody Duffy Story. And it's telling the story of a really good friend of mine named Woody Duffy and the rare disease that he has called MPS I. And at the time he was diagnosed, there wasn't a treatment or a cure. And it's just telling the story of all the work that he and his mom went through to help raise funds to hire doctors and researchers to find the cure. And eventually they did, and today Woody is 25 when they said before he was supposed to die at 12. So it's really an inspiring story.
And that's right, I do remember reading that you're an award-winning documentary filmmaker, and we have a clip from one of your projects, A War Story, A Love Story. Let's take a look.
In 1950, Lou Silva was serving in the National Guard at Camp San Luis Obispo. 1 month after the Korean War began, his troop, the 161st Ordnance Company, was activated into full-time service. He took his basic training at Camp Cook, which is now called Vandenberg Air Force Base. Eventually, he was shipped to Korea. Lou was in the 5th Regimental Combat Team, 24th Infantry Division.
Life in combat was terrible, hard. Well, you didn't know whether you were going to get up the next morning. You didn't know if you were going to get shot or get overrun, or you didn't know what was going to happen. And we were in front of the front lines most of the time. We was called an outpost unit. When I was on the outposts, I lived in a hole in the ground. I slept 2 on and 2 off. 2 hours of sleep and 2 hours awake, 24/7.
That was very hard, because I never knew if I'd see him again. I was 6 months pregnant. I was terribly frightened.
Nicely done. Now, you won some awards, didn't you?
I've won awards at the San Luis Obispo International Film Festival in the youth category, Best of San Luis County and Best Documentary. And I've also won at the Interlochen Future of Cinema Festival in the very prestigious Interlochen Arts Camp there. And I won Best of Festival and Best Documentary there. And I also won, I got 3rd place in the Best Student Film, which is 25 and under, for another documentary I made at the Van Wert Independent Film Festival.
How many documentaries did you make? You're what, 14 you
Yeah,
said, or,
yeah.
or 44? How many did you make?
3, yeah.
3 documentaries.
Yeah.
That's great. So, I mean, I have to ask you this question. Do you have any advice for an aspiring filmmaker? I mean, these guys are probably twice your age, trying to make their first documentary.
Well, I guess I'd just say to have a really strong vision of what you're going for. with documentaries, it's kind of hard to write a script because you never know what the people that you're talking to are going to say. So like what I've been doing when I make documentaries is just to have an idea of what I want to say. Like with a film I made last year called The Poetic Justice Project, which is about a group of formerly incarcerated individuals who do theater to help break down prejudice towards people who have been in prison and jail, and also to reintegrate themselves back into society. My goal there was to help tell their story and help to break down that prejudice. You know, I didn't know what the guys were going to tell me, but I guess just to have a strong vision of what you're looking for, you know, what message that you want to tell.
Thank you for coming down to Aspiring Hollywood, and is there a website, or is that, do you have anything that you want to share with the audience?
Well, I have a Facebook fan page. You can just look me up, Matthew J. Evans, and you can find me there. Get in touch with me.
Thank you, Matthew.
Yeah,
that was
thank
great.
you.
I appreciate it.
Thank
Thanks
you
for
so
coming
much.
down.